What's good, everybody? Today we got One Piece chapter 1163 titled Promise. Now, I haven't been here for a while, but we're back because this chapter is fucking ridiculous, and I gotta talk about Garp in a video later this week. So you guys gotta tune in for that. Leave a like on the video, subscribe, let's talk some shit. It's actually gonna be more fun this video because I'm gonna look at the chapter for the first time while I'm talking to you guys. So it's kind of like my initial reaction, and it's gonna be probably more entertaining. So let's start off with the first page. And this is not TCB scans, this is actually a site with a little worse translations, but this chapter is so crazy that I don't give a fuck, you know what I mean? So the chapter starts, we see Emu, Saturn, whatever that combination is, and he starts going a little crazy. Like, we see him pull up and the Marines are looking at him saying, yo, what are you doing, bro? Like, yo, what happened to you, Saturn? They're questioning this shit. And then Emu being Emu is like, bro, what are you still doing in my way, bro? Like move. And then he ends up just slaughtering through Marines. And then the funny thing is, the pirates look at this like, whoa, they're attacking Marines? Does that mean this guy's on our side? Fuck no. Boom, boom, boom. These guys start getting cooked and pieced up by Emu. And then you have one Marine yelling, retreat! Look at this guy's face, bro. This guy, he's chopped. So yeah, they're ordering the Marines to try to escape. Then we see Roger, and we see that his crew, I think, is still fighting against the Rocks pirates. He's telling them, yo, pull yourself together, guys. Like, what are we even doing? And then he gives his vice captain, his number 2 Gabon, orders. Obviously, that's a troll, but that is the left hand of the Pirate King. So he's basically kind of like the vice captain as well, you know what I mean? He says, Gabon, give these guys a hand and grab the treasure and go ahead. And Gabon has to give his captain, like, you know, the typical speech of like, yo, don't overdo it, don't do anything stupid. Kind of like how Sanji does to Luffy, kind of babies him because Luffy's a fucking retard. You guys see that? You guys see what's going on. Then we cut to Garp tweaking, saying, what's going on? What kind of monster is that? He transformed out of nowhere, sir. It's the first time I've seen an elder, but that's exactly how I pictured those bastards. Vice Admiral Garp, watch your mouth. Do you guys not know who this is? Apparently this is the guy, by the way, that was gonna go see some shit like this and be like, yo, let me protect you guys. That's what I'm here for. Let me protect you from Rocks and Roger. Not Roger, Rocks. He's like, I knew they look like this. This is fucking disgusting. Garp is just breaking agendas as we go on. We cut to Rocks in front of Emu. He says, hey, King of Rats. By the way, is that some Shanks upskill? You know Shanks is in that rat conversation, you know what I mean? Especially now that it came out that Shamrock's cloak is actually blue. And we know the person that meant the Gorosei's cloak was black. Hey, listen, that might be a retcon, that might be something that was a mistake, but hey, the rat allegations ain't got. Emu says, you came here to kill me, eh? So it was you, Davy Jones. Think you got the wrong man. Ain't never met that guy. Yeah, these translations are pretty bad. But they get the job done. There's no semantical argument this chapter, so it doesn't really matter. So Davy Jones is probably like the Ashura of Joy Boys. Like, you know how there was Indra, which was Naruto, and there was Ashura, which was Sasuke? No, it was the other way around. Indra was Sasuke and Ashura was Naruto. Davy Jones is probably like the Joy Boy of his clan. And he's not seeing the right Davy Jones right here. That's supposed to be Blackbeard. So yeah, he did get the wrong guy. You're supposed to get his son. But I'll keep that promise. It is for that very promise that I shall bloat you from the pages of history. Emu then goes to say the world of Mu has yet to be completed. Then Rocks attacks and cuts Emu's or Saturn's leg in half and says, this world ain't yours, big bro. Then we see the Marines saying that bastard Rocks is against say Saturn. The fuck you call him a bastard for, bro? Like, you just saw Emu piece up your homies. Should we help him, Rear Admiral? Garp says, of course we should help him. Get out the way. But who are we supposed to help? But then you see Garp smiling like, what the fuck is he about to do? We cut to another part of the chapter, which is a very interesting part because there's a lot of crazy shit going on. We're not going to talk too much about this, but the pirates are running around stealing treasure and like they're fighting against each other. We see Dragon running with baby Shanks, and he's running to a Navy ship, and he says, I'll leave the child there. And if he left the child there, this would have been a completely different Shanks. Maybe that kid would have even fell into Garp's hands, and he would have threw her to Dodon or some shit, you know what I mean? Okay, that's a fair. Okay, how old is Dodon? That timeline might not even work. But we see Dragon get hit by, I believe it's Emu's Conqueror's Hockey. Oh no, he didn't get hit by Emu's Conqueror's Hockey. He's getting dragged by Captain John's Magnum fruit, the kid's fruit. Use this kid's stealth fruit that allows you to attract metal items towards you. Yeah, so Dragon's gun he has on his back is getting pulled towards Kid. He's using the most OP dope fruit for this kind of situation. He's using the magnet fruit to attract all different kind of treasures towards him. Roger says he doesn't give a damn about this shit, and other people are tweaking out. We got Gunsme, what was his name? He has Mr. Three's dope fruit. and he ends up blowing up and one-shotting Captain John. And after that explosion, we see Dragon fall to the ground with Shanks. These rocks pirates be fighting each other, be cooking each other. Like Kaido just cooked Big Mom. This guy just cooked another one of his crewmates. Yo, this is a very slimy crew. Shiki and this guy just start going at it after it. Then we cut to Garp. One of the most, I won't say best panels, but it just destroyed so many narratives on this man. We got Garp running towards Imu, and we got a trail of Marines grabbing onto his body saying, "Please don't go, Vice Admiral Garp." That person is the highest authority in the government, and Garp just don't care at all. He's saying, "What's that insect over there?" And he's trying to rush towards it because he's all about that smoke. We then cut to Kaido saying, "Leave it to me, Rocks," because he wants to go help his captain with his new Devil Fruit. Kaido, you bastard. Obviously, you guys can probably guess that's Big Mom in the back trying to get back for what he did to her. Now, this is where everything gets crazy. We cut to 6 people charging up an attack. Big Mom says, "I'll kill you." She's acting like it's for Kaido, but it's not really. This attack ain't really for Kaido. Then we got Kaido saying, "Jealous? Huh? Watch this." Whitebeard's charging up some Conqueror's Haki in the back. Rocks is charging up a sword swing, by the way. Apparently he's not a swordsman. Then we got Roger saying, "Get lost, Garp. That one's mine." And then we got Garp charging up a Galaxy. Now what you're about to see next is something you ain't never seen before. 6 of these guys attacking one person. If you ever told me this was gonna happen, if you ever told me this was ever needed, I wouldn't believe you. But the attacks used are obviously Galaxy Impact, Kamusari, aka Divine Departure, Pandemonium, Hakua, Ikaku, and Ryu. Now, I'm pretty sure these are direct confirmed translations for these attacks specifically, but I could be wrong. But what I want you guys to notice here, specifically, because we know these attacks, they don't look too special, except for Whitebeard's. Is that advanced Conqueror's Haki coded into his Quake attack? How the actual fuck is that even allowed? Bro, when I see this guy clashing with Roger, it's just his Conqueror's Haki. He doesn't really use his Quake like that. Bro, am I expected to believe Roger was stronger than this man? But all in all though, they piece up Imu and pretty much incinerate his body. Then the next panel, Imu recovers like nothing happened. All those combined attacks from all those strong people did absolutely nothing to a character. Is that not insane? Is that not one of the most insane shit you guys ever heard? Because one of these attacks, like Divine Departure for example, we view that attack very highly and what it could do to other people. But that combined with other strong attacks from other as strong people, it's like it did nothing to one man. It did nothing to this person. So Imu actually ends up recovering, and then he blasts his Conqueror's Haki everywhere and ends up knocking out people on the island, including Marines. Again, in that same kind of panel, we see Dragon trying to get up, and then he's holding like a wooden log thinking it's a baby. It's not Baby Shanks. Baby Shanks is crawling around God Valley and he ends up stumbling upon a chest. Now obviously we know the story from there. Roger ends up finding a chest and there was a baby inside of it. So this chest is probably going to be picked up by Goban or something when they're running away, and they're going to see Shanks in it. Now towards the end of the chapter, we see Garp and Roger bickering. These are true rivals, man. We see Imu coming back to life and like reforming his body back to what it was, and he starts talking shit to Rock saying, "I can see your family running through the forest." And then Kaido and Big Mom are also bickering back and forth. "I can't spit that fruit out, then pay me." Like, bro, like you ate that shit, you're fucked. So then Rock starts tweaking because the guy they just tried to kill with their strongest attacks, or one of their strongest attacks, it didn't do shit to him. And now this guy's talking about he's gonna find my family. Bro, what the fuck? Imu then goes on to piss this guy off some more, saying, "A new Davy, a woman, and a child desperately struggling to survive. Such venomous lives must never walk free." And then he starts crashing on the Imu, goes to cut him up, says get away from them. And it's funny because people say Rock doesn't cut or slash or slice. Well, that's pretty awkward. Mu then says, "Yo, I won't do anything to your family. It's you that will. You shall be responsible for annihilating this clan. Domi Reversi." Holy fucking shit. That's how the chapter ends, with the Rocks becoming a demon. Now, I don't make a lot of videos on stuff like this, but I will say I have predicted this. And whether you want to believe me or not, it's up to you. But yeah, the fact that Imu can Domi Reversi, the strongest character, or potentially the strongest character we've seen in the series besides him, is insane, because what the fuck can he not do? People are saying that it makes sense that he Domi Reversi them because you kind of have to enrage the person before you do that. And that's what he kind of did with the Doria and Brogy. So if that's like the prerequisite to like Domi Reversi someone, at least that's kind of fair, and like that shit won't work on Luffy because he's always laughing and he's always joyful. You can't rage bait him, so that's how Luffy will counter him. Bro, I don't even think that's enough, bro. Like, I think you might need to do a little more to give this shit some nerfs. And people on Elbaf, they are not safe. They are in trouble, because what's stopping Loki from getting a Domi reversied? Say, yo, I Domi reversied your pops and I Domi reversied rocks. What are you gonna do about it? They'll probably get that guy so mad and he'll probably get Domi reversied. Some of our crew might get Domi reversied. Yo, this shit is crazy, bro. Emu, honestly, Emu's skill is so much above any character in the series, it's not even close. Emu broke power scaling, bro. This shit is insane. But yeah, we're not on a break, so we're gonna get to see what happens exactly. And we're gonna talk about Garb specifically in a video later on this week, so stay tuned for that, guys. Make sure you guys leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.